Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to Primary Market Chatter brought to you by Sunday Investing. This is the September 5th week IPOs edition, where we'll be talking about IPOs and oh my God, there's a barrage of IPOs. We can't keep count of how many IPOs are live or are opening every day. But yeah, I remember we had done one space when India-Pakistan game was there on Sunday. We are again doing a space when there's another India-Pakistan game. Think of it as coincidental only, but we are just keeping up with the time which we usually have, which is Sunday 9:30. But yeah, with that, maybe let me just quickly set up today's day, and we'll try and keep it short because we have a lot of IPOs to keep at least to review. At least the introduction would be short. So I know Yash won't be joining us today. Neither would be Saurabh. So it would be Rohit, Sachin, and me who, along with Tanmay, will be kind of covering the issues. What we'll be doing today, we'll be talking about four mainboard issues and three SMEs. We will probably start with three SMEs: Earkart, Chatterbox, and Suba Hotels. Don't ask us how we have picked them. There are a lot which we have left. Go ahead with like reviewing everything on your own on your DRSP as well, and then we'll talk about four main boards: Pace, Digitec, Glottis, Jinkushal, and TruAlt. Having said that, let me just quickly set up with the couple of introductions which I always have housekeeping points. One is that we are not SEBI registered. None of our opinion is qualified. What we are saying here doesn't matter. Please do your own due diligence. Think of it as just four people who are talking about what they are planning to do with their IPO strategy, nothing more at all. We do not understand your situation, so cannot really recommend at all, and neither are we qualified enough to recommend. So make sure that you uh, use your judgment and talk to your financial advisor before taking any decision. Second, मैंने YouTube channel का link ऊपर डाल दिया है. So if you haven't followed our YouTube channel, go ahead and do that as well. थर्ड, वन मोर इंटरेस्टिंग अनाउंसमेंट. यू वुड हैव सीन हमने अपने यूट्यूब चैनल पे काफी सारे प्रमोटर इंटरेक्शंस भी कवर किए हैं ऑफ लेट. वी हैव बीन जस्ट ऑन अ रोल वेयर वी आर टॉकिंग टू अ लॉट ऑफ प्रमोटर्स इन ऑर्डर टू अंडरस्टैंड देयर बिजनेस. देयर आर मोर कमिंग, but at least like today I can see that there are two companies which we are covering, for which we have done a promoter interaction. So I would link them in when they are happening. Go ahead and listen to the promoter as well, because nobody can give you as much clarity as the promoter when he's explaining the company. So while we'll be doing our review, please try and cement it with the promoter interaction as well. With that, let me just quickly probably set up the first company and start talking about the first company. In the meanwhile, just one last thing. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat box. We'll be taking questions towards the end as well. With that, what we'll do is we'll probably start with Earkart. To start with, incorporated in 2021, the company is formed specializing in hearing aids and related accessories. It offers modern hearing devices like in the canal and completely in canal technology, etc. So basically, ये जो company है ये hearing aids बनाती है, जो कि it's a platform where people can buy hearing aids. Does it manufacture or not? We'll find out when we are going through the issue as such in detail. What I've also done is I've linked the promoter interview in the above box, so you can go ahead and listen to that as well. अभी मैंने link किया है the YouTube channel. With that, let me set up the IPO. It's a 49 crore IPO, all of which is a like 42 crore of which is a fresh issue. 7 CR का OFS है, 49 crore का IPO है. Just want to highlight, book build IPO नहीं है ये. This is a fixed price IPO, मतलब कि इसमें कोई anchor वगैरह नहीं है. So all float would be available on day one for selling. In terms of the market cap, the company is coming at a market cap of around 200 crores, 206 crores, but like I'll still confirm 186 crores. The company is coming at a market cap of 186 crores. In terms of the FY25 financials की अगर बात करूँ, कंपनी ने revenue किया है 43 crores, PAT किया है 7 crores. So 7 crores पे 186 crore, wow, it's coming at 27 PE trailing, which seems like a lot. एक बार समझेंगे, especially because it's also a fixed price issue, so everything is available on day one. In terms of the LM is Sathi Capital. So with that, over to you, Rohit, to talk about Earkart.
Thanks, Manish. I'll keep this one quick, and I'll just tell you my read of the story and why. I mean, if someone wants to invest, what they should assess. So, as you said, they are a manufacturer of own branded hearing aids. They also sell other brand hearing aids. It's a small part of their business. Apart from that, they have also developed an in-house audiometry device called Earkart Omni, which they have applied a patent for, and I'll come to that. Their current business today is this selling of the hearing aids that are primarily their own brand. I think 90% of what they sell is their own brand stuff, which is mainly the hearing aids and a few other smaller products. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. I mean, from a detail standpoint, it doesn't make such a big difference. Now, these guys mainly sell to the government. About 70% of what they do is to Alimco, which is this entity that is part of this social justice part of the government, Ministry of Social Welfare or something. And they buy and they provide some of these hearing aids to disadvantaged people. So that is the largest part. They participate in a bunch of tenders, and it's very similar to one of these, so this company called Ocell Devices that came last year. A part of Ocell's business is very similar to what these guys do. Apart from this, they so I'll just come to that Omni thing, which is where I think the real, or at least as per the promoter, this is where the game changer is. So what they have developed is, or their thesis is that there aren't enough audiologists in the country and generally in the world to diagnose everybody who genuinely needs some kind of hearing, some kind of device that helps fix hearing or supports hearing. So you can go to an ENT. An ENT can only tell you so much. He's not an audiologist. He's not somebody who can actually assess the actual hearing deficiency of the ear. He can give you some sort of small fix, but it'll take an audiologist and a true hearing device to actually fix it. What these guys have done with this Omni product is they have tried to create a remote audiologist product. So imagine in a tier 2 or tier 3 town, you have a device that, is in this kind of soundproof room, and it sort of through a combination of bone conduction and other things, it can accurately tell whether somebody actually has a hearing aid problem and what the fix for that hearing aid problem is. So they're trying to replace the human audiologist, which I wouldn't even say replace, because the thesis is that there aren't enough, anywhere close to the correct number of audiologists. They're trying to bring this device as the replacement. And then when this device says that, okay, this person needs XYZ, this is the problem he has for hearing, this XYZ hearing aid will solve that problem. And then they can obviously sell their branded hearing aid to, as the sale at the end of this. This product, this Omni product, is something that they give for free. And it is, or one interesting thing is, this is a product that can only be operated remotely. So it's not like that audiologist can, or that ENT specialist or the doctor where this is set up in this tier 2 town or tier 3 town. He can't himself operate it and, do his own, make his own judgments and then buy something else. It has to be operated by this company and this company's audiologists only remotely. Now, this business itself is extremely small. This is 1-2% of their overall business. 70%, like I said, is just selling to the government. The rest is a bunch of private clients and a mix of other, little bit of online and so on. But this piece, which is what they want to scale and which is what they are sort of raising the funds for, is currently very, very small. So in my view, what they are building here is actually pretty interesting. They have applied a patent for this product. They also claim that there is no comparable product in the world. They feel that a product like this can also work, globally. There are a lot of, it's not just India that has a lack of audiologists. So it is a bet, it is a flyer on whether this audiometric Omni product has actual value, and people see value, doctors see value, customers see value, and they're actually able to sell, the final hearing aids after this sort of consultation and this diagnosis that happens through this product. Now, today, that's 1% or 2% of their business. So we had interviewed them, and he told us roughly the idea is that when a shop in shop, when this device is kept in a clinic, so what they call the shop in shop model, when it matures, one clinic can generate 1 to 1.5 lakhs of revenue a month, which is say 10 to 15 lakhs of revenue a year. And they want to get to like 500. They have about 50 now. They want to get around 500 in a couple of years. So that can generate, let's say, 50 to 75 crore of revenue over time. That is, of course, good if it happens. It is also a very unique distribution channel through which they can sell their own products, they can sell third-party products. Once you have distribution, it is very powerful because you control the distribution, therefore you control the margins. Now, this is the story. Now, it's up to you to decide whether you will pay 26 times today for what is a good, honest business with decent margins, I would say very good margins, but is at the end of the day just building headphones, or will you pay this for the future of, what this Omni product could become and what kind of, what kind of multiple something like this could get in the future if this works. So that's the bet. That's the story that you guys have to take a call on. As Manish said, there are no anchors, so you can't even gauge the interest. You can't gauge the interest at all. Unfortunately, as per the promoter, this was not intentional. It just so happened that this was filed in a way that where there could not be any anchors. This is a bit like a startup. It has raised money from a couple of VCs, decent VCs, small VCs in the past. But again, that doesn't say much. Again, for me, it is I also was reasonably impressed with the promoter. So it's a startup-ish bet. You are paying a lot for what the business is today, but you are paying for the optionality of this business becoming something very unique and moated in the future. So I don't think this is a business that will just list and run. It probably will list badly. And it may take some time, as the SIS model matures, as they start putting more notifications in the exchange on how things are going. I think slowly this will pick up. So I'm not expecting this to do very well on listing. It's not a listing candidate. It is truly a moonshot bet kind of business. If it works, could do really, really well in the long term. And such a business, if it works, will get a very, very high multiple in the future. But that is subject to him having, 500 shop in shops that are generating as much, 50, 70 crore. Then he's got a real moat. So yeah, that's the read. I think you guys have to make your call, but this is the story that the market will weigh up and decide whether to give value today or not.
Got it. Thanks, Rohit. प्रमोटर का कितना स्टेक है, like कितना उनने पहले dilute कर दिया है, and like how much is the dilution right now? Anything with respect to like why did they not do a usual anchor route and why go the fixed? So this end of the still a big size IPO, right? Although I know Sathi Capital has done well in the past, so at least LM का थोड़ा सा comfort है, right? Like LM is the old LM.
Yeah, I mean, LM is not. I don't think they have left a lot on the table in the past. But yeah, they're okay. I know they are the ones who brought Spectrum Talent, no? That famous. Yeah, so they're not known for leaving a lot on the table. The anchor thing was just, as per the promoter, something he did not know about, and the LM just kind of decided, and he had no idea that. And it's true, right? Many of these promoters doing an SME IPO, they're not aware of the different types of different decisions and trade-offs that the LM might take on their behalf. And for the LM, it's just easier to not have an anchor book. So yeah, I mean, it so happened that as per the promoter dilution, I have no idea. Honestly, I don't look at these things. It's just a waste of time. I've seen so many people talk about dilution for so many different companies, and it makes no difference at all. You have to measure whether the promoter is passionate. You can have 80%, 75% holding promoters, and their companies are like 1/5, 1/10 of what the IPO would have come at. And you have companies like a Zomato, which are like promoter owns 5% and are look at where they are. So it's completely a fool's errand to look at dilution in my view.
I got it. I can understand where that is coming from. But yeah, I will leave it that, and I will let you say that you answered without answering that question. But yeah, with that, we'll move forward and kind of talk about the second company. The second company very quickly we'll be talking about is Chatterbox Technologies. ये भी interesting company है, थोड़ी सी अलग प्रकार की company है, setting it up. Incorporated in 2016, company operates an influencer marketing platform and agency in India, facilitating connections between brands और प्रोडक्ट्स एंड सोशल मीडिया इन्फ्लुएंसर्स. तो बेसिकली इन्फ्लुएंसर मार्केटिंग की कंपनी है जो कि सोशल मीडिया पे जो इन्फ्लुएंसर्स होते हैं उनको जो भी सेलिंग वेलिंग में करते होंगे ब्रांड्स, उसके लिए हेल्प करती है. आईपीओ की बात करूं तो 43 करोड़ का आईपीओ है, ऑल ऑफ विच इज अ फ्रेश इशू, एंड दिस इज योर रेगुलर बुक बिल्ट आईपीओ, नॉट अ फिक्स प्राइस आईपीओ. Book build IPO 43 crores, market cap 163 crores का है. So dilution is like 27-28% the bare minimum. FY25 financials की बात करूं तो revenue 60 का है, PAT 9 crores का है. So it's coming at like 18p, something like that, in terms of which is more like still on the higher end, but still respectable in this segment per se. In terms of the LM is Expert Global Consultant. So with that, over to you, Sachin, to talk about Chatterbox.
Am I audible?
Yep.
All right. So this Chatterbox Technologies, they largely came to surface in 2016 and around 2017, and now they are operating in this digital and influencer marketing. In 2021, when this QU Media from Canada, they acquired this Chatterbox, and now under their they are the corporate promoter for this Chatterbox, and that acquisition was done at around 35 CR of valuation. And what that acquisition led to is that they also brought in Mr. Raj Mishra, who is ex TikTok from for Indian operations, and now that handles all of these Chatterbox technologies in India. So what they do is they arrange tie-ups between brands and creators to maybe market them, maybe advertise for the brands in all of the social media platforms, be it Instagram, YouTube, Meta, etc. Everywhere you get the brand visibility through Chatterbox. So currently their business models are divided into two segments. One is this Chatterbox only, where they offer solutions for these brands. They design campaigns for them. They hire influencers. They do digital marketing from them. And in this segment only, they also have one vertical called Chatter Represent, wherein they hire these influencers. They take care of their legal stuff, their payroll, etc., and all of that. And these are exclusive partnerships with these influencers. So from the brands, for what Chatterbox does for them, it charges around 15 to 30% of commissions. And from these influencers is also take some cut, and it takes around 20% commission from these influencers. And both of these Chatterbox Social and Chatter Represent, and this forms around 90% of the total revenues from 59 CR recorded in FY25. Apart from this, the second business model is Chatter Social, which is what complements this Chatterbox, wherein they spread all of the content that is already created to various other places. And on that content they perform all of these data analytics, like which are the audience looking for the content, what is the time spent on the content, what is the benefit to getting derived, etc. So all of this comes under the Chatter Social, which forms 10% of the revenues. Payment is milestone based in this Chatter Social, and because of this, since they are providing a complete package in this Chatter Social, from content creation to its modification to spreading it across platforms, so they charge higher margins in this. And apart from this, there are some small services as well, like Bharat Box, in which they provide regional marketing. And then there is Chatter International for global. There is also one You Think, where they have a good student base to target the more younger audience for these advertisings. Also, they are planning for one Chatter Studios, where they will make their in-house production of these advertisements from the influencers that they have hired. So till date, they have catered to almost 500 clients, and they also boast around 50 million plus followership, or via all those influencers that they have exclusive tie-ups with. HP is their top client. Alexa from Amazon is their top client. Procter and Gamble is also one of their top clients. And now coming to their financials, in FY23 they did 40 CR revenues with 4% EBITDA, and the EBITDA here was lower because this is the time when they got acquired by QU, so they were scaling up in and around this time. In FY24 the revenues jumped to 55 CR and with 21% EBITDA. And in FY25, the revenues again gave a slight jump to 59 CR with similar EBITDA and 15% PAT margins. Growth was not very good for FY25 especially because they could not get more brands for their advertisement services. So that was one thing that did not lead to much growth. But they have given some advances to attract more brands, and some advances they have given. So that should reflect in FY26 and beyond. For FY26, they are targeting around 25 to 30% growth on a large basis that they said. So a positive here is that the industry in which they are operating, this digital and influencer marketing, it is as per some reports, it is growing around 25 to 30%. So that is a huge number. And given the content that is created in Southeast Asia and particularly in India, and brands are also increasing their budgets to this advertisement, so that is a plus for them. Also, this Chatterbox has developed a good network of these brands, influencers, students, etc. So that builds on their reputation to get in more clients. The risk for this business is there is no entry restriction in this segment. Any influencer can come and they can make some ads, or they can get paid by the brands for this advertisement. Also, large corporate houses have the in-house verticals, especially for this advertisement. So that is one risk to this business. Also, they had a claim in 2019 for some data security leaks for all of the customers and the clients that they have, but that this management clarified that it was more hyped, and nothing was proven against Chatterbox. Also, in since they are operating for their brand visibility via this Chatterbox, but they haven't yet filed any trademark applications. All of their trademark applications are in processing stage, 18 to 20 applications. So that is one slight risk I see. Now for the IPO use, 18 CR is for a new capital expenditure where they are acquiring new hardwares, new software for in-house editing and designing, additional office spaces as well, hiring new talent. All of these is coming in that. Another 5 CR is for building the brand better and networking as well. And the next 6 CR is for working capital, and after that it's for GCP. Now for the pricing at around 115 per share, it comes around 18 times. And the peers mentioned are bigger in scope than this Chatterbox, be it RK Swami, be it Vertos. So they trade near higher, around 20 to 25 times, and even higher than that. But they do not have exact similar verticals like this Chatterbox. In unlisted, there are much better peers that are comparable to this Chatterbox. There is one Monk Entertainment, there is one iCube Buyers as well. So these are more comparable. Lead manager here is Expert Global, and in this issue I saw that they are coming with their preferred market maker Prabhat. So that combination should help on listing. Anchors were okay. Sanshi was there in the names, but I think that Sanshi is also frequently visible in more IPOs now. So I do not see how we can make of what we can make of that. For the final thing, I think that this kind of business needs constant innovative ideas to make content more catchy, so that it brings in more customers and more people to watch your content, so that brands get more visibility and more traffic. So opportunity is surely there with Chatterbox, given the size they are, and also when we see that more and more unorganized platforms and businesses are getting organized, so that means there is a branded push visible across. So that should help this Chatterbox, and it should do well once listed. That's all.
Just to clarify, ये platform है, right? Like ये content खुद नहीं बनाते, it just connects influencers with brands, right? At a high level, that is my understanding. And
Uh,
then social e-commerce वगैरह जो भी करता होगा.
they are planning one Chatterbox Studios as well, where they will design in-house content and in-house everything will be done in-house, editing and etc. Now that is a
But
very small
still,
portion.
that will help your influencers, right? End of the day, can't alienate influencers, right? This is a way to connect influencers to brands, right? At a high level, companies का वो है, right? Like company का USP moat, whatever. That is what it is trying to do, right? Can you hear me?
Hello.
हाँ जी, Sachin, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, hey Sachin, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can others hear me?
Hello.
I can
Good.
hear you.
Am I
Yeah, I
audible?
can hear you. I don't know why such.
Drop over.
You're audible, Sachin. Can you hear me?
It
Nope, I
doesn't
think
seem
he's.
so, but ठीक है. We have covered this company. It seems like a platform. I'll tell you what I like about the company. I like the management. I didn't know that the management is ex TikTok. That definitely helps TikTok India head. So that gives it more credibility of having done something like this. Then I know
Hello.
that there was a pre-IPO done as well. Yeah, Sachin, I can hear you. Nope. So anyways, there was a pre-IPO done as well, right? So that's helpful. There are a few good names in the pre-IPO as well. I know Gaurav Kapoor, someone told me, was in the pre-IPO of this company. That is good. And then that this segment in itself has been hot for quite some period of time, but it hasn't shown a lot of growth. Social commerce में 3 साल से सुन रहा हूँ. So I don't know whether it will do well, especially on a SME board or not. that's slightly questionable. Rohit, what's your view on social commerce angle and a company getting listed? Any view? I know you haven't followed the company, so but general view that you might have.
Sorry, Manish, I missed your question.
No worries at all. I'll come back to it. Let me just probably finish it up with Rohit and then come back to you.
All right.
Okay, no, not just social commerce, but I would say the kinds of models in marketing or marketing tech that, I mean, we saw this ad county also recently list and do surprisingly well. Again, with the promise of building a product in the future. Uh, I don't think it is doing well because they have a services business. I think it's doing well because they are claiming they can build a product like what an Apple has, which is a product business. Chatterbox is a services business, from whatever I can understand, or it's largely a services business. Whatever has worked in this space in the private markets, in the in like say VC space and all, have always been products that help influencers make more money. So let's say you as an influencer, you want to be able to monetize your base. You want to say sell merchandise or sell courses or whatever, right? There are products that will help you manage your audience and monetize them better. So it's a product that will always work here, that will scale here. I'm not sure influencer agency will do that well. That's just my view. I personally think this is an unscalable business, but it may still do well in the market because of generally there's a little bit of hype and all. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's just
novelty of
my
the
view.
business. Yeah, it
Yeah,
would be a
novelty,
novelty.
exactly. Correct.
Yeah. I somehow don't like consulting businesses, consultancies in SME. I like my businesses to have a manufacturing and asset back to it. So, but yeah, that is what my bias is. Let's see how this company does. Sachin, I was asking just whether this is end of the day still a platform or like this will still just integrate influencers on one side and brands on other side and everything in between these guys will do, right? That is the business model at high
Yes,
level.
yes. Yes, at this time it's a platform and they are charging commission from both ends. So for now it is a platform. Maybe they when they scale up this chatter studios etc. So they have their own influencers. They have their own influencers to maybe sell all of these products and etc. to make that influencer base large enough. But for now it is that platform thing only.
Understood. Thank you so much for that. With that, let's move forward and talk about the third company very quickly. Before we get started, I have pinned my our Instagram as well. So Sunday Investing is on Instagram. What we are doing is we are putting IPO stories in a minute, where we talk about what we understand from IPO in a minute. Go ahead and follow the Instagram. Follow our Instagram. There are like 3, 4 IPOs that we have covered. We have covered the stories behind those IPOs that is up there. So go ahead and please show some love and follow us on Instagram as well. With that, let me probably quickly move forward and talk about Suba Hotels. Established in 1997, company is a domestic hotel chain in the mid-market sector with 88 operational hotels and 4,000 keys. Additionally, 40 hotels are in pre-opening phase, adding 1,800 more keys. So seems like a big company with like 6,000 keys. We'll understand that business model and how it is divided across segments. And just setting up the IPO, it's a 75 crore IPO. So big size IPO again, market cap 270 crores. So 270 crores per 75 ka dilution है. So again like 28% type dilution. FY25 financials की बात करूँ तो revenue was 80 crores and PAT was 15 crores. This 80 crores is not the GMV, like total room rent booked. वो नहीं है. It's just the company, what the company made, because it also manages some of these hotels only and the GMV doesn't get counted. So 80 crore top line. PAT 15 crore का है, 15 crores का. So it's coming at like 18p trailing, 18, yeah, approximately 18p trailing. In terms of which, like, in terms of the LM is Unistone. So with that, over to you, Rohit, to talk about Suba Hotels.
Thanks, Manish. So I'll try and explain this. I'll just preface by saying I have not written down notes. So I'm going to be a little bit just tell as things come in my head. So I may miss some points or just validate some of the numbers for this company, please. So as Manish said, they are one of the largest mid-market hotel chains. In fact, I think they said that they are the third largest in India in terms of number of keys managed. This is for this low-end 3,000, 3,500 ARR kind of room rent. Today, they operate I think almost 88 hotels, or yeah, about 88 hotels with almost 4,100 keys across 50 cities, mostly tier 2, tier 3, which I think is a majority, more than like 3/4 of the presence is just this tier 2, tier 3 markets, which is what they're focusing on. They do a mix of business, leisure, religious tourism. They have a bunch of brands. They have their own brands. They have their own Suba brand. They have a Click brand. They have international brands through this Choice Hotels franchise rights, master franchise rights, which have their own brands of Clarion, Quality, I think Comfort or Comfort Inn. Again, each of these are in different segments, economy, mid scale, upper scale. So they're doing a lot of different things. And then the kicker is that they actually operate in every ownership model you can think of. They have their own hotels. They do revenue share / lease, which are similar, where either you pay a lease rent or you do a revenue share, but you're paying a person. You take all, you get all the revenue on your books and then you pay the share. They do franchising, where they just take a franchise fee. They do managed hotels, where they take an even smaller fee. So any type of business model that's there in a hotel, they do it. Any type of brand possibility, they do it. Any segment, mid, upper mid, of course, not like luxury and all, but in the lower end, in the economy segment, every sort of sub-segment they are present in. So this is a company that in the hotel segment is doing everything. Honestly, I don't know how. You'll rarely see this in a very small scale hotel chain. You'll see this as you get really large, and there also you'll kind of stand for something. But I mean, kudos to them. They've definitely built something pretty large and quite impressive. So in terms of their numbers, like they did 80 crore revenue, but that doesn't give you the full picture. Their actual GMV, which is because they recognize revenue differently when it's their own hotel or a revenue share, they recognize the revenue there. But in the franchise and manage, if they only recognize 3%, 4% or 1%, depending on the model, the actual sale of the room will be a different number. So that GMV, which is the room rate into number of rooms, into number of nights, that value is about 600 crores. So it's pretty large. Like if you see the scale of what they do, it is not small at all. Now, these guys, their revenue mix is across owned, which is about 20% revenue share and lease about 50%, franchise about 10%, and managed is, I think, 2-3%. I was unable to calculate what that would look like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years out. It is very difficult to tell what the revenue of this company. I mean, if you leave aside guidance, it's very difficult for you to say, okay, if they add so many hotels of these models, what kind of revenue they will do. So I found this a very confusing business to value. Now, these guys are fairly well geographically diversified. They have got multiple different models. They're also developing some slightly innovative products. They spoke to us about, I'm forgetting what that's called, but like this portable mobile kind of a hotel, which you can set up and remove. Modular hotel. Yeah. Which is again, quite unique. They're also very good at doing turnarounds and last mile funding, which is where you have a hotel that is struggling or a hotel that has been built, but they're not able to do the real estate is there, the building is there, but they're not, that the builder is not able to get the funding to actually fit out the entire hotel. So they're able to sort of step in over there. So they're definitely very, what is the word? They're very innovative, very creative. They're dhanda people. They're able to run such a complex business in so many complicated models and have built something that is working. So, I don't want to say too much more than that, but at least that's my take, that I find it a hodgepodge of so many different things. Some other hotel business, let's say Grand Continent Hotels, which is another listed SME in this space. Like to me, that is kind of the gold standard, very clear with what they want to do, single type of model and just executing super fast. Whereas this is, in my view, the other extreme. Now, the company, whatever it is, coming very cheap. It's coming at 17 or 18 times, which for a hotel chain is very cheap. It's coming at about 13 times EBITDA. EBITDA is not a great way to look at it because every model they operate has different EBITDAs, it's impossible, I think, to look at EBITDA. So better just look at P multiple only. I think it is reasonably cheap, or actually very, very cheap for a hotel business. Today they have about 4,000 keys. They want to add at least 500 keys a year in a mixture of various models. Impossible to calculate revenue, but broadly our understanding is they want to grow anywhere from 30 to 50% over the next 2 years. On a forward basis, that on an FY26 basis, companies even cheaper, probably coming at maybe 12, 13 times. I don't know the exact number what they'll hit, but probably 12, 13 times if they hit the kind of guidance that they're saying. I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of the anchors. We had the Trimurti, we had Bengal, Sanchi, and Abacus, that is Bharat Venture. So all these three funds were there. So obviously very, very high quality anchor. One more thing I'll say is I quite enjoyed the promoter. I mean, we got to interact with the promoter, and I thought the main Papa is very, very good, very capable. He understands the business. He knows how to do. So I think they will do well. But yeah, for me, it just doesn't suit what I look for in a company when they're doing everything under the sun. For them, it's a competitive advantage as per them. So be it. So yeah, it just doesn't suit me from an investment standpoint, but I think maybe this is a company that one can trade, and people who feel confident about how these guys are executing and the fact that they have every business model under the sun. And if that is a competitive advantage, can definitely look at it. So good business to study. But I personally am not interested in it for the long term.
Got it. I like how I dislike or like whatever you want to say, how you're saying ki PE pe multiple do. EBITDA nahi dekh sakte. I remember when Schloss Hotels was coming, Leela was there, then everyone said, oh, you can't look at a PE, you need to look at a, now you're saying there's no depreciation, look at a PE. So,
no, I think here the problem is, so something like
it has its own assets because of its depreciation is there, but how, we want to highlight how every chain, like every IPO is different, has a different story, how you want to study. There's no really one formula which applies everywhere, right? Even within the same segment per se.
Yeah, I mean, look at this guy. Majority of his keys, although of course not majority is revenue, but majority of his keys is franchise. Franchise mein he makes, I think 1-2% of revenue net of his franchise fee. So like it is completely asset light. So asset light business, he'll be operating at like 70-80% EBITDA. So that's not and like even very, very high PAT margin as well. So you can't generalize this as this is an EBITDA business because I have a lot of assets and therefore I have to be valued on my cash flow and not on my this thing. In a managed services model and a franchise model, you're getting cash only. So PAT itself is representative. And the problem is that mix of hotels is so convoluted, very difficult to value like this 10% this, 50% this, 20% this, 5% this. So it's very hard to bucket this into a certain thing. So at the end, even earnings per it is cheap. So you don't even have to go into EBITDA. Earnings per itself, it is very cheap for a hotel business. So yep. I think there is value on the table. Yeah.
Agreed with you. I think one thing which probably stood out and maybe you should highlight also is that the F&B mix is lower compared to your usual hotel chains and would probably come like would always remember like be lower simply because they are not looking to serve liquor etc. in their premises, right? So that number would always
Correct.
look lower, and they are majorly accommodation first hotel,
Yes.
if I can say so. So that is one risk if you want to say it. But I like the promoter group, very powerful, like very influential. They just seemed influential and like understood their business very well. So I would be applying to and then probably see whether I want to hold it or not. But yeah, that is what my view is. I can't see Sachin anymore. Sachin, are you there? If yes, then we'll probably move forward about the fourth company, or we'll come back to Sachin after doing Glottis. So while Sachin comes back, let me quickly then probably talk about the fourth company. The fourth company we will be doing is Glottis Limited. Let me set up Glottis really, really fast. Yeah, so the company is a logistics solution company that offers comprehensive transportation services through ocean, air, and road logistics and provides end-to-end logistics solutions with multimodal capabilities across various sectors. So logistics की company है, we'll come to it. I have written as incorporated in 2024. Maybe Tanmay, when you're talking about Glottis, you can confirm is something missing in my. Like, have I put in the wrong dates? 2024 just doesn't seem possible to me. Maybe they've converted at that moment of time. Talk about it when you're talking about it. But they are setting up the IPO. It's a 307 crore IPO, 160 crore fresh issue, 147 crores का OFS है. मार्केट कैप जिस पे कंपनी आ रही है 1192 करोड़ है, तो 1200 करोड़ पे 300 करोड़ का रेज है, 225% का डाइल्यूशन है. इन टर्म्स ऑफ FY25 फाइनेंशियल्स की बात करूं तो रेवेन्यू 943 करोड़ था, पैट 56 करोड़ है. सो 56 करोड़ पे मार्केट कैप 1192, सो समवेयर अराउंड 18 पी ट्रेलिंग इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. But it's a logistics company. We'll try and understand how complex is the logistics. In terms of the LM is spent too much. So over to you, Tanmay, to talk about Glottis.
Is my voice clear?
Yeah.
So I know I've got very limited time to prepare, so I'll be hopeful that I deliver on a great note. So Glottis Limited is a Chennai-based logistics solutions provider, which offers comprehensive services through ocean logistics, air logistics, road, and basically it's a freight forwarding company. Mostly in the ocean segment. I guess 73% comes from the ocean freight. The company also does warehousing, third-party logistics, cargo, storage, custom clearances, etc. So the company has got 171 overseas agents, 98 shipping lines, 52 transport partners, 43 customs, house agents, 22 airlines, and 20 consolidated agents. So I'll make one thing clear, that the company it itself owns just 17 commercial vehicles. Okay, so whatever names I've given, it is just an partnership with those. It's a complete asset light company. Okay, it owns very very less assets. So जो भी मैंने अभी आप नंबर दिया आपको agents का, shipping lines का, it is the outsourced ones. ठीक है. Now, in terms of geographical revenue bifurcation, 90% of the revenue comes from the Asian countries, mostly your Vietnam, Thailand, and all that, Taiwan and all that stuff. North America is for 5%, and 1 to 2% is for Europe, South America, and Africa. So, it is, your import driven. So it generally works on the imports which are done from the Southeast Asian countries, which has been on a very good note in majority sectors. Now, I'll give the sector bifurcation. Okay, so this is here comes the interesting point. There 47% revenue comes from renewable energy, clients. So what this means is, just अभी let's say आपको सबको पता है कि चाइना से अपना मॉड्यूल और सेल इंपोर्ट करना बंद है. So, companies are very smart. They start importing from your Thailand, your Taiwan, your Vietnam, Laos, Cambodias of the world. Okay. So, वहाँ से this company is into freight forwarding for the import of the solar renewable energy products, and then it comes and delivers to the Indian companies. This is what the 45% type of a revenue contributes. Then the engineering companies for 12.7%, granite and minerals for 9.2%, and logistics, home appliances, agro, and all that stuff is for like 1-2% here and there. So coming on the IPO size, the company is raising 307 crores, out of which 160 crores is a fresh issue and 147 is an OFS. Out of the 160, the company is, embarking 132.5 crores towards capital expenditure for purchase of commercial vehicles and containers. So earlier this company was a complete asset-light model. Then it went into 20 CVs. Now it is buying another. So it is going from an asset-light to a hybrid model. So which would be, and it also says कि company road logistics जो है, let's say मैंने import किया, मैंने freight forwarding किया, but from the port to the जो आपको port jetty जो भी होता है वहां से लेके till the client, वो जो बीच का ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ द रोड वो भी कंपनी खुद करना है. सो इट वुड बी एन एंड टू एंड कंपनी, क्योंकि कस्टम क्लियरेंस भी करा के दे रही है, इट इज ऑल्सो हैविंग रिलेटेड सर्विसेज, वेयर हाउसिंग सब है. सो जो रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट था, विदाउट चूजिंग अ थर्ड पार्टी ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑपरेटर, इट इज चूजिंग टू हैव इट्स ओन फ्लीट. सो उससे मार्जिन बढ़ेंगे एंड रेवेन्यूज विल ऑल्सो एक्सपांड. Now coming on is financials. Company did a revenue of 479 crores in FY23 and a PAT of 22 crores. In FY24, the revenue jumped to 500 crores and PAT of 31 crores. And in FY25, the company saw a significant jump to 942.6 crores and PAT of 56 crores. So मोटामोटी 39 से 39.5% टाइप का रेवेन्यू का केगर है. नाउ हियर वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग कि आप बोलोगे कि यार रेवेन्यू कैसे इतना बढ़ रहा है. टेक्निकली इनका ना दिस इज अ वॉल्यूम बेस्ड बिजनेस, ठीक है, तो ये टीयूज पे देखा जाता है. सो इफ यू जस्ट लुक एट द हिस्टोरिक टीयू के, अगर इट हैज बीन क्लोज टू 20 से 25% के बीच में, ठीक है. अभी अभी आपको ये भी देखना पड़ेगा कि ड्यूरिंग द रशिया यूक्रेन आपके जो रेट्स थे बहुत शूट अप हो गए थे, इवेंचुअली इट केम डाउन 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 एंड अगेन द रेट्स हैव बीन मॉडरेट टू ऑन अ हायर पेस. सो आपने देखा होगा कि 20-25% का टीयू ग्रोथ करने के बावजूद कंपनी ने ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 70-80% का ग्रोथ दिखा दिया है. इसमें वॉइस ऑडिबल? हेलो.
Yes, yes, audible, audible.
ओके ओके ठीक है, डन. सो अगर आप देखोगे तो वी वुड थिंक यार कंपनी ने लाइक 45% सॉरी कुछ इन 90% काइंड ऑफ अ ग्रोथ दिखा दिया, बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ टीयूज इट इज लाइक बेयरली 25%, ठीक है. तो आपको ये देखना पड़ेगा कि लुक दिस कंपनी एज अ वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ ड्रिवन कंपनी बाय एवरेज टीयू, मतलब जो आपका रियलाइजेशन पर टीयू होता है उसके हिसाब से. सो अगर अब मैं इसका फॉर 26 बोलूं, द in one of the interviews company has hinted that the company wants to continue that 18 20 22% kind of a TU growth, जो जिसका मतलब होता है at current freight rates it should be approx 30% kind of a top line growth, ठीक है, which seems very fair. uh, तो मोटा मोटी एंड आई विल टेल यू द मार्जिन शुड एक्सपांड बिकॉज ऑपरेशनल लेवरेज विल श्योरली किक इन. तो FY26 कंपनी आराम से 1300 करोड़ टाइप का रेवेन्यू कर देगी और 75 से 80 करोड़ के आसपास का पैट कर देगी. तो नॉट टॉकिंग ऑन द वैल्यूएशन, बॉल पार्क 1200 आई गेस 1190 से 2-4 करोड़ ऊपर नीचे मेरे को एग्जैक्ट याद है, बट 1190 के बॉल पार्क कुछ वैल्यूएशन इसका. सो ऑन दैट मल्टीपल्स मोटा मोटी कितना का 21-22 इश का पी है फॉर FY25 एंड ऑन FY26 इट शुड बी एट रफली 15 का पी. हाँ मोटा मोटी हस करेक्ट 15 के आसपास होना चाहिए, 13-14 के आसपास. अभी अभी मैं इसका थोड़ा अच्छी बात बता देता हूँ. फर्स्ट इज द प्रमोटर क्वालिटी यार, एब्सोल्युटली गुड प्रमोटर क्वालिटी आपके साउथ इंडियन प्रमोटर्स है. द कंपनी हैज कंप्लीट जीरो केसेस ऑन इट सेल्फ. कोई चार्ज नहीं है, कोई टैक्स लिटिगेशन नहीं है, कोई क्रिमिनल प्रोसीडिंग नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. फॉर नॉट फॉर द बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स, नॉट फॉर द कंपनी, नॉट फॉर द प्रमोटर्स. इट इज एक्सट्रीमली रेयर टू सी अ लॉजिस्टिक्स कंपनी having zero litigation. So it's an hats off to the management कि कैसे कर लेते हो. And for that incorporation of the year, it's a 2004 का कंपनी है, ठीक है, एंड नॉट 2024 वो चित्तौड़गढ़ वालों ने वो 2 डाल दिया बीच में. सो इट्स अ 2004 का कंपनी. सो दैट इज अ स्मॉल पॉइंट आई क्लियर. सो इनका रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी पे बहुत ज्यादा है. एंड द क्लाइंट्स दिस, सो बाय द वे आई गेस RSP में इसके क्लाइंट्स नहीं है, सो आई वोंट टेक अ लिबर्टी टू मैनेज. अगर है तो मैं शायद मेरे पोस्ट में बता दूंगा. द क्लाइंट दिस कंपनी हैज आर एक्सट्रीमली ऑफ हाई क्वालिटी बिकॉज आई नो द क्लाइंट्स, सो आई एम टेलिंग, बट आई कैन नॉट मेंशन दोस एक्सट्रीमली हाई क्वालिटी क्लाइंट्स. एंड जो आप अगर सिंपल देखोगे जो भी कंपनीज इनकी, अगर आप उनके आगे के प्रोजेक्ट्स देखोगे तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि यार ये तो अगले 2 साल के लिए बहुत बूम में रहेगा, ठीक है. रीजन बीइंग द इंपोर्ट्स आर गोइंग टू बी एट वेरी स्काई हाई. कोई कुछ भी बोल ले कि इंपोर्ट्स अलाउड नहीं, बट यू जस्ट लुक एट द IPP कंपनीज, इंडिपेंडेंट पावर प्रोड्यूसर्स. उनके लिए इंपोर्ट ऑफ मॉड्यूल्स इज लाइक 20-30% कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव फॉर द रॉ मटेरियल्स इटसेल्फ. सो वहां पे तो इनका 2-3 साल कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. एंड इफ यू लुक एट कि इनका इंजीनियरिंग सेगमेंट, योर डिफरेंट कंस्ट्रक्शन, मिनरल्स, लिग्नाइट, एवरीथिंग इज डूइंग वेल. सो आई फील समवन माइट टेल कि भाई हमारा SJ लॉजिस्टिक 9 के 10 के पी पे है, बट एंड ऑफ द डे Mainboard company is a Mainboard company. The size is a size and the clients are clients, ठीक है. So I feel it's a good company. इसमें negatives बोल देता हूँ. First is absolutely और renewable energy वाला component. 47% kind of a revenue comes from renewable energy. And I personally feel 3 साल बाद it might struggle. ठीक है, 3 साल बाद. But at least for next couple of financial years मेरे को कोई struggle नहीं दिखता. At least I feel 3 के लिए 2.5 बोल लूँ मैं, 3 की पूरी लिबर्टी लूंगा, but 2 साल तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. So and another second would be your ये सारे फ्रेट के रेट्स होते हैं. सो माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशंस में कंप्लीट फ्रेट के रेट्स होते हैं. दैट इज एप्लीकेबल टू एवरी लॉजिस्टिक्स कंपनी. बट इफ यू लुक एट दिस कंपनी हैज गॉट अ बेटर प्रोफाइल फॉर मेजोरिटी रेशियोज. अब देखो, आप अगर कोई SME की देख लोगे तो आपको वहां पे 19% पैट देगा. वो कैसे कर रहे हैं मुझे नहीं पता, बट एटलीस्ट एट द मेन बोर्ड लेवल मेजोरिटी लॉजिस्टिक्स कंपनी आर स्ट्रगलिंग टू मेक मार्जिन्स. ठीक है, वो SME मेन बोर्ड में क्या डिफरेंस है दोनों में, क्या वो क्या अलग कर रही है मैनेजमेंट, आई हैव गॉट जीरो आइडिया बिकॉज आई एम नॉट फ्रॉम दैट डोमेन. बट जो मुझे दिख रहा है, कंपनी इज गुड, प्रमोटर्स आर वेरी गुड, वेरी वेरी जेन्युइन, ऑनेस्ट, डाउन टू अर्थ प्रमोटर्स, जीरो केसेस. मेरे को तो अच्छा लगा. बट एवरीवन नोज एंड ऑफ दैट इट्स अ लॉजिस्टिक्स कंपनी, तो मार्केट में बहुत फ्रेंसिस की नहीं होगी. बट आई वुड से इट्स नॉट एट ऑल अ बैड कंपनी, इट्स अ गुड कंपनी. FY26 पे 15 टाइम्स का पी मेरे को महंगा नहीं लगता है. Okay, and if you took in Mainboard, for at least for the logistics sector, you have got Mahindra, which is struggling badly. You have got TVS Supply, which is again struggling badly. You have got Western Carriers, जिसका मैंने बहुत अच्छे से IPO review करा था, and everyone remembers के it's a slam dunk award from my part from day one, अभी 50% नीचे. So that's a different company. मैं उसको किसी का भी peer नहीं मानता, वो एक अलग ही लीगी company जो I don't like to talk on that company. Tiger Logistics, an extremely small company, and this is the peer of this company. ठीक है, SJ is not a peer. So I coincidentally had a call with the company 2 months back for Anchor. तो तब I knew कि इसका proper जो peer है वो Tiger बैठता है. And Tiger का जो growth है, and this growth has got a very different profile. Customer में बहुत differences है. So this company is on a much higher profile. So I feel it's a good company. Listing देगा कि नहीं, I've got no idea. Long term चलेगा कि नहीं, I've got no idea. But it's a good company. Like end of the day, market, it is up to the markets how to value this company, because it's one of the unique plays यार, क्योंकि छोटे medium segment की एक logistics company in a Mainboard segment, markets haven't seen these kind of listings quite a lot. But I feel given the management quality and the upcoming plans and the growth, it's a good company for long term. बहुत आपको 50-100% नहीं बनेगा, but it should be a consistent compounder. मुझे management quality बहुत अच्छी लगी. Listing ऐसे कहा कि नहीं, we could look at this at a later point, but at least I feel it should give some kind of hope. बहुत नहीं होना चाहिए, not discount तो मैं बिल्कुल expect नहीं कर रहा हूँ, but there should be some pop. But उसके ऊपर I'll be talking at a later point. But overall a good company, not a bad one at all.
Got it. Thank you, Tanmay. Sorry, I got lost in between some network issue. Blame Elon Musk. But yeah, with that, that was Glottis. Couple of things. I somehow don't like the renewable energy concentration. For me, it's a risk. Because I feel like too much regulation dependent. Like, or if let's say the government decides to ban your Thailand or whatever, wherever places it is coming from, that is also a problem. If they allow China, that is also a problem. So somehow I don't like that part of the business. Plus, it is a logistics play. So I
नहीं,
would
इसके अंदर
personally
दो
avoid
चीज है यार. फर्स्ट इज चाइना डिपेंडेंस. आई गेस इनका एकदम ही जीरो, फिर कुछ 0.2-0.3% विच इज नेग्लिजिबल. वो जीरो भी हो जाए, इट वोंट मेक इवन ₹1,00,000 का लॉस इन टर्म्स ऑफ पीएनएल. दूसरा है, सिंस इंडिपेंडेंस ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ है कि थाईलैंड, वियतनाम, लाओस इनके सेट से किसी भी चीज का. हाँ, इंडोनेशिया थोड़ा पाम ऑयल के होते रहता है, बट दैट्स अ सेपरेट मैटर ऑल टुगेदर, दैट्स रिलेटेड टू एग्रीकल्चर. बट इन तीनों चारों देश जिनसे इनका मेजॉरिटी रेवेन्यू आता है, सिंस इंडिपेंडेंस कभी कोई भी हिंट नहीं आया, कोई दिक्कत कभी आया नहीं. सो आई होप इट शुड कंटिन्यू, एंड देयर इज नो रीजन इट शुड नॉट कंटिन्यू. तो दैट्स ऑल ऑन एटलीस्ट द ज्योग्राफिकल कॉन्सेंट्रेशन. रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी यार अगले 2 साल में कोई दिक्कत नहीं, उसके बाद इट माइट फेस.
got it. And then in this company again, like the anchor is a lower amount, right? Like what is the scene? I think
30%
30.
करेक्ट. इसका क्यू है भी 30% है, एंड रिटेल है 25 की जगह पे 35 या 30 ऐसा कुछ तो है. सो दैट वाज वन मोर
Retail
नेगेटिव
is
आई हैड.
40, HNI is 30, and QIB is 30. But
करेक्ट.
there's an anchor in this, right? Like 30
हाँ,
rupees
एंकर है. यस यस.
division hai. So look at that division once on how much. But it is like slightly less than the usual number. Usual is 50, right? 50% for
हाँ हाँ,
distribution.
15-30 है, एंड आई गेस कुछ 17% ऑफ दैट, मोटा मोटी 45-46 करोड़ का एंकर था इनका. सो अप्रॉक्स 16% ऑफ योर आईपीओ द एंकर. 30% उन्होंने किया था. 50 दैट वाज स्लाइट नेगेटिव, बट ठीक है, इतने सारे साथ में आईपीओ आ रहा है, सो दैट इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल.
Got it, got it. I know Rohit has something to say and wants me to add him to this conversation because he got lost somewhere like me. I have just sent him an invite. Let's see if he gets it. But yeah, that was with respect to Glottis Limited. I'm just seeing if he's in. Yeah, that is with respect to Glottis. While we move forward, the next company we'll talk about is Space Digitech. Just want to highlight again before that, if you haven't joined our Instagram, we now are also on Instagram. The link is in the pinned comments. Go ahead and do that as well. वहाँ पे हम IPOs in a minute, IPO stories in a minute करके हमने एक नई series चालू की है where we try and talk about the what we like in IPO within a minute, like from the promoter's mouth himself. When we are interacting, we try and edit it in such a way so that we can highlight what we understand from the IPO. So go ahead and do that. With that, maybe I can't see Rohit, so let's move forward and talk about the Oh, Rohit is here. Rohit, can you hear us?
I can. I'm able to
Yeah.
come back.
Okay. You wanted to say something regarding Glottis?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, Mainboard and SME are very different, but definitely we are very exposed to the SME logistics segment. Everything trades at like 8 to 10, 8 to 11p, 8 to 12p, even if they are high quality companies. Mainboard is a bit random here, but whatever it is, I think 20 is way too high, irrespective of what this company will grow at. So I'm highly skeptical of this company sustaining post listing.
Got it. Let's see. Again, interesting company growth. But it's just that there's so many IPOs coming now, that is a problem. Let's see how it evolves. Yeah, with that, let's move forward and talk about Pace Digitech. Setting up Pace Digitech, incorporated in 2007, company is a multidisciplinary solutions provider with a primary focus on the telecom infra industry. Its primary verticals are telecom, energy, information communication, and technology (ICT). So, टेलीकॉम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का काम करती है एट हाई लेवल. एक एसएमई मेरे को याद आ रही है, बट आई विल नॉट से. In terms of the IPO, it's a 819 crore IPO, all of which is a fresh issue. Market cap 4,700 crores का है, so big size company, $500 million. 800 crore का raise है, all fresh. So 20% का dilution है, approximately, slightly less than 20. FY25 financials की बात करूँ तो revenue 2,500 crores का है, PAT 280 crores का है. So 280 crores पे market cap 4,700 crores पे आ रही है, so 18 PE पे आ रही है. In terms of the LM is Unistone Capital. So big size IPO for Unistone, considering they are also doing Suba Hotels, and now we are talking about a much bigger, like 10x bigger raise compared to Suba. Suba was 73. This is a 819 raise. So over to you, Sachin, to talk about Pace Digitech.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this Pace Digitec, it was found in 2007, and earlier they were into this telecom infrastructure only. But now what we see is that they are trying to shift their focus to this renewable energy and this BESS and etc. as well. I'll come on that BESS thing later. So they are now shifting their focus from this telecom infra. This telecom formed almost 95% revenues in recent years, where they got a big order from BSNL for this 4G tower installation, their erection, also this optical fiber cable laying, etc. And that is still going on, and it should continue for another year or so. Around 60 to 70% work is done, but it should continue for one year or so. And the rest 5 to 6% revenues comes from this solar EPC, renewable EPC, etc. And they are they also got a best this order in June 25, around 5 gigawatt per hour, which is also expandable to 10 gigawatt per hour. And they also got one from this Maharashtra State Electricity Board with a 12-year annuity plan. So all of this best segment, this will come into revenues from FY27 and beyond, nothing for FY26. The final revenue stream is this information technology solutions, security surveillance, smart classrooms, rural electrification works, towers, etc. Also, the promoter is somehow showing optimistic aspirations to get into cell manufacturing as well. But that is more like aspirations and only, and nothing should materialize anytime soon. For the best thing, which is the focus for this Pace Digitech, that will come under their Lineage brand, which they acquired from GE in 2014. And for the BESS especially, the Pace has good control over almost three components of the BESS: the battery management system, the power conversion system, and the energy management. For the transformers and the battery and cells, that they source from outside, but for the rest they have good components in place, and they are sort of saying that they are manufacturing, but it does involve a certain extent of assembly as well. So for now we would consider this as more like an assembly player with some greater manufacturing capabilities. So that they are focusing on, that is the backward integration they are doing into this. They have 3 manufacturing facilities, and they recently have also made entry into Africa for this best thing only. which is gaining some higher traction in those regions as well. They have around 7,600 crores of orders as of July 25, and this includes 3,200 crores from telecom and 4,700 crores from all of these energy verticals, the EPC projects, these best segment projects, etc. And they also mentioned that around 7,000 CR is in pipeline as well, which includes telecom and some component of railways as well. Now, coming to the financials, in FY23 they did 53 CR of revenues, but this did not have that consolidation effect, so that is not much comparable. In FY24, when the actual consolidation effect came in, they did 2,434 CR of revenues with 17% EBITDA. In FY25, they did 2,439 CR of revenues, almost 2,440 CR of revenues with 20% EBITDA and 11% PAT. Now the growth is not very much in this year because the reliance was largely on those telecom orders and those BSNL orders, and nothing from all of these other verticals. So the growth is minimal in this year. And in FY26 also I expect the similar, around maybe 8 to 10% growth only in FY26. And when the best thing actually materializes post Q4 of this FY26 and maybe in the first half of FY27, then we can see some traction. Coming to the positives of this business, they are trying to move higher in the value chain of this best thing, separate from those telecom vertical that they already operated in. So that is some good benefits of this business, positives of this business. The telecom reliance is a risk, and also the BSNL projects which they operated that got delayed in the past as well. So that is continuing, and that should give them a basic outlook of a telecom EPC, other than this energy EPC which they are trying to focus on. The best thing for now, they have a slight advantage that they are entering in quick, but it may get crowded going ahead. So that is one thing to note. Also, for the best project that they have won from the Maharashtra State Board, I see that the components like all of this energy management, battery management, or these power conversions as well, all of these components as part of the project is coming to from import. So all of these components are being imported, despite the fact that PACE already has all these products made in house, which they claim that they are manufacturing. So maybe it would be more like a project demand from the government side, nothing known for sure. So that is one point I thought to mention. Now for the IPO use, 630 CR is for these best projects, which includes 75 substations in 3 phases. First phase should come live in Q4 of this financial year, and the next 2 by August 26 or maybe by September 26. And the rest funds are for GCP. For the IPO pricing, it's near 16 times trailing and probably near 12 to 13 times forward. So not much gap there. For FY27, I think the valuation that they may get for this best thing that is being circulated for PACE Digitec, that will only come when there is more clarity on they have set up those substations, etc. So that is when they get those higher valuations. LM here is Unistone, and pre-IPO also had some names like Chhattisgarh Investments, Minerva was also there. We saw Bondada is also there in one of the shareholding list. Anchors were okay. SBI General Insurance, Samsung India, Bandhan Mutual Fund was also there. Taurus Mutual Fund was also there. For the final thing, I think that the management expertise should help in this pivot to this best thing, but not anytime soon. The progress is visible, but nothing for now. So maybe by FY27 start, or maybe in the first half of FY27, that should get more clarity. So for now, it is decent enough. That's all.
Got it. Got it. Thanks, Sachin. What component of the revenue right now is base in FY25? Is it like
Nothing from BESS.
So most of it is just telecom
Telecom.
infrastructure laying, right?
Right. 90% plus is this telecom, and I expect the similar. I expect this to drop to somewhere below 90 in this FY26, but it should be largely telecom only.
Got it. And like any guidance on how big can BESS be for them or anything that you hold? on
Uh,
like
uh,
the calls or not really?
they did not have any guidance, but what they are eyeing is going forward, they are looking to get this best to 50% of the revenues, all of these energy components, and shift the rest 50 to telecom from current 90%. So that is what their focus should be. And the pipeline is good as well. So that would come in the near term, nothing immediate.
Understood. Helpful. So that was with respect to Pace Digitech. Again, so many issues. Had this been alone, we would have probably this would have had some interest because it's still coming at like 18 times for a main board is okay. Because it's a big size company, right? But so many IPOs, so would probably skip it or apply retail just for applying. But yeah, that was with respect to Pace Digitech. Uh, Moving forward, the next company we'll be talking about is Jinkushal. Before I set it up, I have a couple of pointers with respect to Suba Hotels as well, and then one with respect to Glottis. Rohit, this is a question. Sorry, I'm looking at the questions now, so this is just going back and want to cover this. One question is 4,100 keys or 6,000 keys. Can you clarify? From my understanding, 4,000 is what they have, and 1800 etc is pre-opening phase, right? So they should open anytime per se, right? So that is one question. And second is anything about the 26 crore tax litigation that you saw on Suba?
I don't remember the tax litigations. I feel like we asked this question, but I'm not able to recall the answer. The first question you answered it yourself.
Okay, perfect. And then there's one more pointer with respect to Glottis on how for the next 2 years, while ingot development progresses in India, imports are needed to meet the 2030 target of 500 gigawatts. So don't see any issue till that gestation period, which is, I'm assuming, what Tanmay also said. So we'll go forward with that. With that, let me quickly set up the next company. The next company we'll be covering is Jinkushal Industries. Incorporated in November 2007. It's a export trading company supplying construction machinery globally. Recently, it has opened its own proprietary brand, Hexcel, and offers backhoe loaders engineered for performance, durability, and value across the global markets. So it basically sells used and refurbished construction equipment to outside of India, primarily Mexico, etc. Setting up the IPO, it's a 116 crore IPO, out of which 105 crore ka main fresh issue hai, 11 crores ka OFS hai. So very small main board IPO. At a market cap of 464 crores. So 464 crores per company, 116 crores dilute कर रही है. So around 25% dilution है. FY25 financials की बात करूं तो revenue 385 crores का था. In PAT 19 crores ka tha. So 19 crores is coming at a market cap of 464 crores, so somewhere around 24p trailing. Not trailing, 24p FY25. In terms of the LM is GYR Capital, which is coincidentally this is the first mainboard raise of GYR. So with that, over to you, Sachin, to talk about Jinkushal Industries.
Am I audible?
Yep.
All right. So this Jinkushal Industries, they are based out of Raipur, and they operate in this non-OEM construction and mining equipment. And they have good. This business has a good family legacy as well. Around 50 plus years, going back into mining and construction equipment and contracting equipment, etc. What now this business has evolved into is they are more like a export house. They also have got some certifications for export as well, and also they have set up offices in one is in UAE as well, another they have set up in USA as well, and so the revenues are largely export driven. The business model is asset light. So what they do is they source these new and old machines which is acquired from these contractors or maybe the users whose projects have been over, or the project life cycle has been over, and then they refurbish it, revamp it. Some of the refurbishment is done in-house, and at times it is done on contractual basis as well, where the engineers and experts of Jinkushal go and inquire on the quality aspects, and then they deliver it to the final customer. Also, they supply some new customized products as well, which they directly source from these high-end OEMs, and then they upgrade it as per the specifications of the clients, and then they supply it to various other customers. And now slowly they are trying to ramp up their own brand, Hexcel, minimum revenue share at this time, but that is the focus going on. As per verified CRISIL reports, they are commanding around 6.5 to 7% share in this non-OEM export segment, especially. So that is one benefit this Jinkushal have. Their customers are more like B2B customers, be it wholesalers, importers, or maybe multi-brand outlets that are found overseas. And Now, why Jinkushal is able to leverage on all of this is because there are a low cost for engineering and refurbishment as well as labor in India. So that allows better management of these refurbishment verticals. Also, the foreign trade policy that came in that supports Jinkushal's working to some extent. 61% of the revenues comes from this new equipment sales, where they source the equipments, branded ones, directly from the OEMs and provide it to the customers. 35% is from the refurbished, and 4% is from their own brand. Rest is from their rentals and services as well. The primary market that they are serving right now is Mexico, which forms around 70 to 80% of the revenues. And the other markets are UAE, Netherlands, Belgium, Australia, South Africa as well. So now why they are focusing on their own brand now is because they have good types with all of these customers for more than 5 to 10 years, and now they find a good opportunity to build on to their own brand and leverage these types. This will also help to reduce their own trading business of these equipments, and will focus largely on this uh, manufacturing of own components and supplying of those equipments. Coming to their financials, in FY23 they did 198 CR of revenues with around 8% EBITDA. In FY24 they did 243 CR revenues with 11% EBITDA. In FY25 the revenue saw a good jump on consolidated basis to 380 CR. But the EBITDA slightly dipped again to that 8.5% mark. And this was largely because they got some higher input cost as well, and also they spent more on increasing market share overseas. 5% PAT margin on FY25. Given the funds from IPO will be available for around 5 months in FY26, so they should show some growth for FY26 as well with similar margins. They did not quantify much yet, but the growth should be visible. Now coming to the positives, not much debt on the books. Asset light business is visible as well. Only limits that they are using is for the working capitals. Also, the business for this business that they are catering overseas, they have got some export licenses and export opportunities as well, and support from the government. So that should add up on it. To the risk, the Mexico concentration, it was asked again from these promoters that is this not a risk to concentrate so much revenues in Mexico? So for that, they said that the Mexico is an upcoming and huge market, and they also get better pricing for the products that they sell in Mexico. So that should help gain more market share in markets like Mexico and other nearby areas as well. The another risk that I see, the scaling their own brand Excel, it can be a challenge, and especially they are not trying to focus on Indian market just for now. Maybe they will focus going ahead, but that is not the focus for now. Now coming to the IPO, apart from the OFS, there is a OFS in this issue. All of the net proceeds are going for the working capital, around 72 CR, and from the net proceeds, the rest is for general corporate purposes. So for IPO pricing, it is in around 23 to 24 times, and below 20 times I see on FY26, given what they are projecting as per working capital estimates, and near 17 times EV EBITDA. In the listed space, we can somehow compare this to some extent with Action Construction is there. They also do some rental and stuff as well, and One Vision Infra is also there. So both of do this some of the rental stuff, but they also do this refurbishment thing to some extent. And Action trades near 30 times and 21 times EV EBITDA. Vision is in SME, so the valuations are not much great there. In unlisted, there are good comparable players like Equipment Hub is there. One Bull Equipments is also there. So those are more comparable to this Jinkushal. Lead manager is GYR, known more for the SME, and this is the first Mainboard for them. Anchors were, I thought, okay. Nomura is there, but they are via ODI fund. And one Swam India fund is also there. Okay to decent anchors. For the final thing, I think that the management expertise and the history that this business has, it should help them scale further in the overseas market, given that the focus is largely export for some time now, and there are good numbers of geographies to cater to other than this Mexico. The market overall may not be big in the size, but whatever it is growing at around 6 to 7% CAGR over year on year. So they should get more share as and when they also scale their own brand. So that should help with Jinkushal.
Got it. Thank you so much, Sachin. We spoke with the promoter of Jinkushal. I just found the business very interesting and unique, especially considering the small size of the issue. There were no guidance, etc., and we don't know what the business will do, but at least it's a very, very interesting business with them kind of creating their own brand. There I feel there is like there's a possibility of doing some really good things, and the promoter mentioned how the kind of growth that they've shown in the last 10 years is what like it's still touching the surface level only. So there's so much growth to be done. So I'm reasonably positive on the company. I just that it's a very small issue, right? So don't know how much will someone get, but I'll be applying to this issue most probably. What we have also done is that we have covered the interview of the promoter. I have posted that in the I have shared that above. So go ahead and listen to the broadcast. If you don't want to listen to a 26-minute post podcast, just swipe it and you'll get an Instagram link as well, where we have essentially highlighted, according to us, the 1 minute story of Excel brand and how what they are doing and are the leaders in the non-OEM export space. So we have done that as well. Go ahead and listen to that, and while we are there, kind of follow us on Instagram as well. With that, let's move forward and talk about one last company, maybe do it quickly and wrap everything up by 11. The last company we'll talk about is TruAlt Bioenergy. Setting up TruAlt Incorporated in 2021, companies engaged in the production of biofuels with primary focus on ethanol sector. It is one of the largest ethanol producer in industry based on installed capacity of 2000 kiloliters per day and has a 3.6% market share in ethanol production capacity. Ethanol has been in the news for probably wrong reasons then, right? But yeah, we'll talk about that when we understand the company. Just setting up the company, it's a 840 crore IPO, out of which 750 crore is a fresh issue and 90 crore OFS है. Market cap 4,200 crores पे आ रही है company. So very new company, just 5 years old and $500 million market cap. So the company has scaled up very well in terms of the financials. Top line of 2,000 crores, bottom line of 150 crores. So 150 crores per 42, 53 crores per REA. So it's coming at like 30p, 28, 29p. In terms of the LM is DAM Capital and SBI Capital. So with that, Tanmay, over to you to talk about TruAlt. And before I actually ask you to do that, just want to highlight again anyone who is listening to us, go ahead and follow us on Instagram as well. The link is in the above pinned comments. Over to you, Tanmay, to talk about TruAlt.
Is my voice clear?
Yeah.
So TruAlt Bioenergy Limited is one of the largest biofuels company and India's largest ethanol company in terms of capacity installed. So it has got 2000 KLPD, which is kiloliters per day. You understand? 2000 kiloliters per day capacity, which is roughly 8.5% of India's operational ethanol capacity. Okay. The company also produces ENA, which is extra neutral alcohol, which is used in the alcoholic beverages as a raw material. The company has also got compressed biogas of vertical of 10.2 tons per day capacity. Okay. The company has got 5 distilleries, out of which बिफोर गोइंग टू डिस्टिलरीज में पहले आपको कॉन्सेप्ट समझा देता हूँ कि मल्टी फीड क्या होता है, डुअल फीड क्या होता है. ठीक है, इफ आई एम टेलिंग दैट कॉन्सेप्ट, उसके बाद आपको मैं 5 फैसिलिटीज समझा दूंगा. फर्स्ट इज डुअल फीड. डुअल फीड पे बहुत सिंपल है यार. लेट्स से देयर इज अ शुगर फैक्ट्री. ठीक है, शुगर फैक्ट्री से शुगर बन गया, उसके बाद उसका मोलासिस बचता है. ठीक है, और कई बार क्या होता है, अभी आपको पता होगा रिसेंटली गवर्नमेंट ने एक्सपोर्ट बंद कर दिया था शुगर का ड्यू टू द प्राइसिंग रीजंस. एट दिस पॉइंट व्हाट एवर द स्टफ इज अर्लियर इट वाज बैंड. ठीक है, तो जो एक्स्ट्रा शुगर का सिरप बचता है उसका क्या करें. सो शुगर का सिरप एंड जो शुगर बनने में जो मोलासिस बनता है, उससे जो इथेनॉल बनता है या फिर उससे जो डिस्टिल चलते हैं, उसको बोलते हैं डुअल फीड. ठीक है, व्हाट इज मल्टी फीड. इथेनॉल कैन ऑल्सो बी प्रोड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम ब्रोकन राइस. ठीक है, आपका जो राइस प्रोडक्शन में जो बचा हुआ वो होता है ना टुकड़ा, वो हमारे साइड में बोलते हैं टुकड़ा बोलते हैं उसको. सो इट्स अ ब्रोकन राइस, दैट इज वन ऑफ द स्टफ. सेकंड इज द ग्रेन्स, जो आपका एक्सेसिव ग्रेन बचता है या फिर द ग्रेन विच इज नॉट ऑफ अ गुड क्वालिटी टू बी सोल्ड इन द रिटेलर्स और वॉट एवर स्टफ इट इज. और होता है आपका कॉर्न. आपको पता होगा अभी देयर अ वेरी रिसेंट न्यूज जस्ट यस्टरडे आउट की गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज कंसिडरिंग इम्पोर्ट ऑफ कॉर्न फ्रॉम यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स फॉर द इथेनॉल ब्लेंडिंग प्रोग्राम ईबीपी. ठीक है, कॉर्न एक हो गया. एंड उसके बाद देर आर फर्दर कपल ऑफ कंपोनेंट्स. तो जो अभी मैं डिस्टिल्स पे आता हूँ, देन आई विल मर्ज द कॉन्सेप्ट. द कंपनी हैज गॉट 5 डिस्टिलरीज, आउट ऑफ विच 2 आर मल्टीफीड. मल्टीफीड मतलब आप उसमें कॉर्न डाल दो, राइस डाल दो, मोलासिस डाल दो, शुगर सिरप डाल दो, कुछ भी डाल दो, उसका इथेनॉल बन जाएगा. 2 ऐसी है जो खाली डुअल फीड है, जो शुगर सिरप और मोलासिस विच इज इंडिया में मेजोरिटी डुअल फीड ही है. ठीक है, मल्टीफीड बहुत ही ना के बराबर प्लांट डिस्टिलरीज है. एंड जो पांचवा है दैट इज डुअल फीड एट दिस पॉइंट, बट द कंपनी इज रेजिंग केपेक्स ऑफ आई गेस 160 crore. सो आई विल कम ऑन इट एट अ लेटर पॉइंट. तो उससे वो भी मल्टीफीड हो जाएगी. उससे फिर 5 में से 3 मल्टीफीड रहेगी और 2 डुअल फीड रहेगी. अब इसका मैं रिलेवेंस समझा देता हूँ. आई नो आई एम डायरेक्टली गोइंग इनटू कॉन्सेप्ट एंड द बेसिक्स, बट आई फील इफ यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस आपको कंपनी नहीं समझेगा. मतलब व्हाई इट इज एन इन्वेस्टेबल बिजनेस, आपको मैं ये समझा रहा हूँ. ठीक है, तो दोनों का अच्छा बुरा बता देता हूँ. अभी लेट्स से गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज आर एक्सट्रीमली वॉलेटाइल. गवर्नमेंट का आज मन है कि भैया शुगर से बनाओ, कल मन है कौन से बनाओ, परसों ये राइस बनाओ. सो द डेटा जिस तरीके से बनता है उस तरीके से गवर्नमेंट अपनी पॉलिसी चेंज करती है. लेट्स से देयर इज एक्सेस राइस इन द कंट्री. अभी सबको पता होगा एट दिस पॉइंट द राइस production, or rather production, the what we can say, the storage of rice at this point of stock is a better word. Stock of rice in India at this particular time we are talking is at all time high, historical highs. तो गवर्नमेंट का क्या है भाई, आप राइस से बनाओ इथेनॉल. मतलब जो एक्स्ट्रा का राइस है, तो जो लो क्वालिटी का है उससे इथेनॉल बन जाएगा, और जो मीडियम टू हाई है वो कंजम्पशन में जाएगा. या फिर कॉर्न बहुत ज्यादा बन गया, लेट्स से बारिश आपकी एकदम मॉडरेट रही, बहुत अच्छा सा फसल आ गया, आपको समझ नहीं रहा है कि इसका लाइक स्टार्च के अलावा मतलब हो नहीं सकता है, वो बियॉन्ड कैपेसिटी सप्लाई जा चुका है, आप उससे बना लो. शुगर एक्सपोर्ट बंद हो गया, एडिशनल शुगर सिरप और मोलासिस का क्या होगा, इसका बना लो. सो इट इज ऑन द गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी कि आपको कौन सा फीड स्टॉक लेना है. सो व्हाट द कंपनी हैज डन, इन्होंने 2 को मल्टीफीड बना दिया और तीसरे को बनाया. द कंपनी सिंह 2 को हम हमारे रखेंगे. अभी इसका एक रिलेवेंस और है. इनका एक ग्रुप कंपनी निरानी शुगर्स, ठीक है, ट्रूअल्ट का ग्रुप कंपनी है, विच इज इंडिया थर्ड लार्जेस्ट. सेकंड और थर्ड में थोड़ा देर इज अ डिस्प्यूट, बट चलो सेकंड ना हो थर्ड मान लेते. सेकंड और थर्ड में बहुत छोटा है, 1% 2% का डिफरेंस है. तो इट इज इंडिया थर्ड लार्जेस्ट प्राइवेट शुगर कंपनी, शुगर प्रोडक्शन कंपनी, प्रिडोमिनेंटली इन द नॉर्थ ऑफ कर्नाटका. ठीक है, तो इनका जो अपने ही मिल से जो आता है उसके फीड स्टॉक से, मोलासिस से, शुगर सिरप से ये इथेनॉल बना रहे हैं फॉर द 2 प्लांट्स विच इट विल हैव आफ्टर 6 months ऑल्सो, आफ्टर 3 months ऑल्सो, जो डोवल पे ही रहेंगे. तो इससे क्या होगा, मेरे घर पे शुगर बन रहा है, मेरे घर पे सिरप बन रहा है, इथेनॉल में मैं ही बना रहा हूँ, बायोकेमिकल में मैं ही बना रहा हूँ, बेच भी मैं ही रहा हूँ. एज सिंपल एज दैट. सो कंपनी सेइंग कि हमारे पास इतना रॉ मटेरियल अवेलेबिलिटी है कि हम सारा मल्टीफीड क्यों करें. वेरी सिंपल. तो द कंपनी हैज गॉट इट्स ओन रॉ मटेरियल विच गेट्स प्रोड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम इट्स ग्रुप कंपनी. और बाय द वे, अभी कोई बोलेगा कि ग्रुप कंपनी महंगा बेचे सस्ता बेचे, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट मैटर. तो आई जस्ट पुट अ लाइट ऑन इट कि दिस बोथ द कंपनीज हैव गॉट अग्रीमेंट कि इन केस मार्केट इज सेलिंग लोअर देन द ग्रुप कंपनी, company has got an option to buy it from the market and not from the group company. And अगर the price is similar or lower, it will buy from the group company or vice versa. Whatever TruAlt feels, so उसके हिसाब से ग्रुप कंपनी का डीलिंग करेगी. उनको बोला नहीं करना है तो नहीं करना. दैट हैज बीन an agreement which is given in the RHP. ठीक है, नाउ व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ दिस डुअल फीड एंड मल्टी फीड, बता देता हूँ. मल्टी फीड से क्या होगा, अभी लेट्स से नाउ देयर हैज बीन अ वेरी रीसेंट डेवलपमेंट की गवर्नमेंट इज पेइंग अ बिट मोर टू द इथेनॉल व्हिच हैज बीन प्रोड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम द ब्रोकन राइस. तो कंपनी बोलेगी मेरे को ज्यादा चाहिए, मैं राइस से बना लूंगा इथेनॉल, मेरे पास तो डुअल फीड है, तो मेरा ऑलरेडी ऑपरेशनल है. तो इफ यू आर हैविंग दैट मल्टी फीड वाला डिस्टिलरीज, यू कैन मेक हाई मार्जिन इथेनॉल, जिससे आपको रियलाइजेशन बढ़े. ठीक है, इजी. अभी मैं थोड़ा आ जाता हूं इनका आईपीओ साइज पे. The company is raising 839 crores, out of which 750 crore is a fresh issue and 89 crores is an OFS. तो 750 का bifurcation ये है, कंपनी इज रेजिंग 425 crores एज अ वर्किंग कैपिटल. अभी वर्किंग कैपिटल इसमें क्या है, इसको भी मैं एक मिनट थोड़ा सा बताऊंगा क्या चीज है. लेट्स से there's an जून मंथ, इट्स एन हाइपोथेटिकल सिचुएशन, ठीक है, नॉट एन एग्जैक्ट इंडस्ट्री रिलेटेड सिचुएशन. जून के अंदर शुगर का प्राइस बहुत घट गया, मतलब सिरप बहुत सस्ता मिल रहा है, मोलासिस बहुत सस्ता मिल रहा है. तो व्हाट आई विल डू, आई जस्ट स्टैक अप माय रॉ मटेरियल. और मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं वो रॉ मटेरियल से जो इथेनॉल बना हुआ है, इथेनॉल ज्यादा टाइम के लिए टिकता है, ठीक है, तो इट्स नॉट कि आज या मेरे को कल ही बेचना पड़ेगा, एक 10 दिन बाद ही बेचना पड़ेगा. इट हैज अ गुड शेल्फ लाइफ. और मैं गवर्नमेंट को वो रेट पे बेचूंगा. तो व्हाट विल हैपन, आई एम बाइंग अ रॉ मटेरियल एट अ लोअर प्राइस एंड सेलिंग एट अ सिमिलर प्राइस. बट अभी कंपोनेंट इधर आ रहा है वर्किंग कैपिटल का. अगर मेरे पास ज्यादा वर्किंग कैपिटल रहेगा तो मैं ज्यादा स्टैकअप कर पाऊंगा. सो देयर लेट्स से लाइक I'm just giving a example of a tire manufacturing company, okay, just for a reference. If a company feels कि केरला में जो रबर मिल रहा है वो मेरे को बहुत सस्ते में मिल रहा है, and I feel after this particular timeline इसका भाव बढ़ जाएगा, तो मैं बहुत ज्यादा रबर का स्टॉक रख लूंगा. Same is here. कंपनी के पास बैंक में पैसा है, बोल रहे मेरे को पता है अभी यहाँ पे मैं सस्ता मिल रहा है, बाद में महंगा हो जाएगा, सो आई जस्ट स्टैक अप माय रॉ मटेरियल. सो दिस विल हेल्प इन द मार्जिन इंप्रूवमेंट. फर्स्ट. सेकंड, रॉ मटेरियल की कोई कमी नहीं होगी, सस्ता हो महंगा हो जैसा भी हो, आई हैव द मनी इन माय पॉकेट एंड I can produce more, क्योंकि मेरा वर्किंग कैपिटल का साइकिल विल बी बेटर. आई विल हैव अ बेटर होल्ड ऑन माय रॉ मटेरियल, और मेरे को जो रॉ मटेरियल पांचों में से अच्छा लगे, जो जो रेट पे पसंद है, मैं वो लूंगा. एज सिंपल एज दैट. सेकंड इज, आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू ऑन द केपेक्स साइड, ठीक है, अराउंड 151 करोड़ का केपेक्स है. तो उनका जो तीसरा प्लांट है, दैट विल ऑल्सो गो इनटू मल्टी फीड, एंड दैट शुड गेट कमिंस इन 3 months ओनली, इज व्हाट 3 or 4 months. और बाय द वे जो सेकंड प्लांट था, इन फ्यू RSPT is written, one is only commissioned, but 2 महीने पहले सेकंड में कर चुके हैं, ठीक है. सो इट्स टू कंप्लीटली ऑपरेशनल एज अ मल्टीफीड. तीसरा फ्रॉम द आईपीओ प्रोसीजर, और 2 नहीं होंगे, ठीक है. आई विल कम ऑन इट्स फाइनेंशियल्स, उसके बाद में थोड़े हाईलाइट्स पे आऊंगा. फाइनेंशियल्स FY23, the company did a revenue of 1,280 crores, 188 crore का EBITDA and 32 crores का PAT. सॉरी माय बैड. FY23 762 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू, 105 करोड़ का EBITDA और 35 करोड़ का पैट. FY24 1280 करोड़ रेवेन्यू, 188 का EBITDA and 32 का पैट. पैट हैज बीन फ्लैट. आई टेल यू द रीजन आफ्टर सम टाइम. In FY25, the company did a revenue of 1,968 crores at a EBITDA of 309 crores and PAT of 147 crores. ठीक है. अभी इफ यू लुक एट द कंपनीज डेट लेवल्स, डेट इन पे है 1100 करोड़. आई गेस 900 करोड़ है उसमें से, और 200 करोड़ का वर्किंग कैपिटल लिमिट है, तो मोटा मोटी 1100 करोड़ टाइप का डेट है. वन माइट से इट इज वेरी हाई, इट इज हाई. बट आपको इधर एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट समझना पड़ेगा. कंपनी आती है, कंपनी का जो डेट है ना, उसको उनको इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट देना पड़ता है 4 to 4.5%, विच इज चीपेस्ट एंड लोवेस्ट इन द कंट्री. सो इनका जो डेट आता है, दैट कम्स अंडर देयर इज अ पॉलिसी कॉल्ड एज इंटरेस्ट सबवेंशन स्कीम बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. इनका सिंपल है कि जितना मैं टर्म लोन लूंगा उसके ऊपर मुझे सिर्फ उतना ही इंटरेस्ट देना पड़ेगा, 4 to 4.5% के बीच में. कोई तो एक स्पेसिफाइड रेट होता है, बट दिस इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल टू योर वर्किंग कैपिटल, ठीक है. सो इट हैज टू पे द इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट एट 4 to 4.5% फॉर योर टर्म लोन्स. एंड जो वर्किंग कैपिटल तो आईपीओ से रेज कर रहे हैं, जो इनका छोटा सा 150-200 करोड़ का लिमिट पड़ा है, शायद फिर उसको यूटिलाइज नहीं करेंगे इन FY26. बट इफ दे डू, it won't go beyond 10 or 15 crores as an interest cost, which is minimal for the given the size of the company. ठीक है. तो ये अभी आपका आ गया. सो अभी मैं थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंटर्स पे आ जाता हूँ ऑफ दिस कंपनी, ठीक है. The company has done a MOU and also signed an agreement with Sumitomo Corporation, ठीक है, to establish 4 CBG plants, out of which the land has been identified, 3 in Karnataka, 1 in Maharashtra. It can also do types for ethanol, sustainable aviation fuel, and carbon credit business, and allied biochemicals. I'll tell you one very interesting point. Okay? I don't know how this is relevant. 2 weeks back, Modi ji was in Japan, and they had a meeting with Sumitomo for same purpose, for the ethanol. This company has got MOU with ethanol. I don't know how this works, but there might be some relevance. I have no idea. ठीक है. The company has also done a agreement with GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited, for setting up a CBG units at 20 locations. All are have been identified already, and via the subsidiary called as Lifinity, ठीक है. And GAIL also intends to acquire 49%, not more than 49% stake in its subsidiary. उससे फिर और 20 लोकेशन पे सीबीजी का प्लांट डेवलप करना चाहेंगे. इट हैज बीन साइंड ऑलरेडी. The company is also exploring avenues like second generation ethanol. अभी एक परसों का recent development है that government has allowed 2G ethanol to be exported, which was the first time ever. अभी 2G ethanol क्या होता है? It looks as a very wide term. Simple. जो multi stock का ethanol है वो 2G ethanol है. As simple as that. और जो normal मेरा sugar molasses का syrup से बन रहा है, sugar syrup and molasses से बन रहा है, that is my first generation ethanol. So it's just a fancy term, but it just means कि multi stock से जो ethanol बना, that's a second generation. And exporting that would heavily positively impact your margins. ठीक है? This has been 2 days back development and which is extremely positive for this company. Uh, उसके बाद द कंपनी इज ऑल्सो लुकिंग टू सेटअप कितना था, आई एम नॉट एबल, हाँ, 310 किलो लीटर्स पर डे कैपेसिटी ऑफ सस्टेनेबल एविएशन फ्यूल प्लांट. तो सिंपल है, जो मेरा एसएफ जो आपके फ्लाइट्स में लगता है, जेट्स में लगता है, जो फ्यूल होता है उसका, वो आई विल मेक फ्रॉम द इथेनॉल. उसको बोलते हैं सस्टेनेबल एविएशन फ्यूल, विच इज वेरी व्हाट वी कैन से एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली इन नेचर. तो कंपनी इज इंटेंडिंग टू सेट अप 310 KLPD per day, 310 kiloliters per day का प्लांट, which would make the company one of the world's largest SF producer. ठीक है, one of the world's largest, not India's. बाकी और इनका by the way, this company has also granted an authorization to be as an oil marketing company, allowing to directly market your clean fuels like ethanol, bio CNG, and high speed diesel and motor fuel. तो मतलब जो आपका हाई मार्जिन ऑफ दी फ्यूल्स होते हैं उसके लिए भी कंपनी हैज गॉट एन ऑथराइजेशन एज एन ओएमसी, जैसे आपका जियो होगा, नया होगा, उस टाइप से, बट इन अ हायर वैल्यू एडेड सेगमेंट. अभी I'll come on its value. So, one more thing is the company is also intending to set up 100 fuel stations, which also have conventional plus next generation fuels in like another 3 years. This has been given in the RHP. अभी वैल्यूएशंस पे आ जाता हूं मैं. इट इज कमिंग एट 28 टाइम्स FY25P. एंड अभी FY26 का मैं कैसे गणित है इसका ही बताता हूँ. FY25 एंड ऑफ द ईयर दिस कंपनी हैड 1800 KLPD, बट 200 was this 600 was 400 was operational in the last 2 months. तो टेक्निकली FY25 में 1400 पे दिस कंपनी हैड ब्लेंडेड लेवल में 75% यूटेज. 70 इट लुक्स, बट if you just remove that 400, it looks at blended 75%. Abhi at this point the company's already got 2000 KLPD का capacity. So even if we consider that same utilization, which is the most conservative thing, उससे ज्यादा ही होगा, तो company can very easily do 3000 crore plus का revenue. Okay, and 2900 3000 from the ethanol. बाकी extra neutral alcohol already contributes for I guess 12% of its revenue. CBG से बढ़ेगा, and अगर और revenue से कुछ 50-100 भी आ जाता है, तो it would take its revenues to like 300-400 crores. And EBITDA should be like 17% जो था उससे कहीं 0.5% ज्यादा, and PAT should easily come at 250 crores. ठीक है, तो FY25 पे 26 पे it is coming at 16-17 times का PE, and EV EBITDA पे it is coming at I guess कुछ 11-12 times, which is fairly cheap. उसके बाद one more good thing is the company has done a equity shares का conversion from CCPS in your May 2024, which was at 491 rupees per share. It was done to Madhu Kela, under Chartered Finance entity, then your Mithun and Padam Sancheti, which were the erstwhile owners of your Carrot Lane, which was sold to Titan. Your listed company Praj Industries, then a fund called as Vikasa, at just 1% premium from the issue price. That was 15 months ago. उस टाइम पे 35 करोड़ का कुछ पैट था, अभी कुछ 150 करोड़ टाइप का बॉल पार्क पैट है. So this is one more interesting thing. बाकी बस mostly, and also the promoters has got some of the history related to BJP वगैरह, वो सब they were erstwhile politicians, अभी भी है मतलब. So this is overall on your TruAlt. So for me it is a slam dunk apply for listing gains. In the longest term, it has got some government intervention, it has got this, it has got that, all ethanol wala जो भी चीज है, जो risk है, everyone here knows more than me. ठीक है, peers की बात करूँ तो 2 sugar companies दिखाई है, and you have got one Cianagro, ये साल it should do 150-200 crores का पैट, it is trading at 5500 crore का market cap, और उससे बहुत नीचे है. मतलब this company has got absolutely better fundamentals than that. वो 56 के PE पे चलता है. Forward पे it should trade at roughly 18-19 times, नहीं 20 times type 26 पे चलना चाहिए is what my assumption is. नहीं ज्यादा रहेगा उससे, करेक्ट, नहीं ज्यादा रहेगा, 25 टाइम 26 रहेगा, बिकॉज 200 तो इस साल का है. सो 25 टाइम 26 पे दिस कमिंग एट 16-17 टाइम्स. सो देयर इज अ clear cut 40% very short termish kind of an upside, very short termish. So I would apply. It is a slam dunk apply for listing, and long term, it's up to you to be take that risk of the ethanol stuff and be invested. But even I personally feel it is even good for the, you know, long term also. That was overall on TruAlt.
Got it. Thank you, Tanmay, for the comprehensive review. That was with respect to TruAlt. I'll also be applying to the issue. There's a lot of hype as well. I don't like the space honestly as much. Just too much susceptible to government intervention. Things might change with all. So maybe I'll not hold for long, but I'll be applying for sure. Tomorrow is the last day to apply. With that, we have kind of covered the space. It's been a long space. I'll try and put it up tomorrow. But yeah, with that, we have covered our 7 companies for the day. And we'll come back next week. Or like even in this week, we still have a few IPOs to cover. So maybe day after tomorrow is where we do one more very quick space with respect to 3-4 IPOs and cover like what we had done last time. But let's see. That is with respect to today. Thank you so much everyone for joining. Have a good day ahead. Just one last thing, if you haven't joined our YouTube and Instagram, it is in the pinned comments. You can go ahead and do that as well. Yeah.
And also, I think we have already posted the interviews of SME called as Earkart Limited. ठीक है, Ashton Grower वगैरह का investment है. It's a good SME company. उसके बाद we have got Jinkushal Industries. So दोनों that was our first Mainboard interview. So please go through that. It both have been shot well. They have been covered well, edited well. So it should be fun for all of you. And go ahead and watch it.
Yeah, go ahead, watch the promoter interviews and take a call basis that just help yourself with more information per se, and then take an informed call. With that, thank you so much everyone. Have a good day ahead. Bye.
Thank you.